Hi guys, your latest news today. Adeleke, which is the present governor of Osun State, has visited President Bola Ahmed Tinubu at the presidential villa in Abuja just days after securing a second term in office. Guys, in a meeting that has attracted considerable political attention across Nigeria, the governor presented a certificate of return to President Tinubu during his visits like this, symbolically making a successful return to office after the August 15 election. As this meeting also provided an opportunity for the two politicians to meet in person following this their election, and the president congratulatory messages to Adeleke. Yes, this meeting represents Adeleke first reported visit to President Tinubu at the presidential villa since his victory in the Osun governorship election.
You can give thanks to Osun people, not the way you sang it or celebrate it. It's the way you act it. Use me as an example. And I got here. God put me here. Where you are today, God put you there. Not the smartness of any of these people. It's just their support, not their smartness. It's the wish of God that prevailed, and the wish of the people followed. And you are in a very, very unique position to make history.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Promote unity, peace, and stability. Use it. You started, he's a progressive. All you are doing now is progressive instinct. And you did a very good mobilization with your team. Very good job. You saw fear, you screamed.
Thank you, sir.
Promote democracy, promote stability, promote rule of law. Don't stigmatize any of your opponent. Okay, let's look at the trajectory of the history. I saw one of my opponents now say he will go back to subsidy. I read it. That is demonstration of a serious ignorance on governance and economy. Before I came here, 27 states are unable to pay salaries. Not to even talk of pensioners, salary of workers. In your state, I know a man that raised, who is nicknamed half salary. They come to the federal, cap in hand, unable to do anything. The salary you pay feeds families. They are the local governments. They are in the states. We are the concentration of population. They are in the states. Take out the president. Regard every other person as common men. They have families to feed. The infrastructure you embark upon, on the road network, housing, school rehabilitation, hospital, healthcare pronouncements, resuscitation of healthcare, training of teachers, training of F workers, to protect our vulnerable families is part of your responsibility. And the people of Osun State pronounce their judgment on you, that they love you, they want you to govern. So you're going back to govern. Anybody, any Democrat, anybody in the political environment who cannot celebrate the joy of free and fair election does not deserve the laughter and the happiness of democracy. Don't make a single individual a victim of your campaign. Don't. Not for you alone, not for the sake of Osun alone, for the generations to come. It's more important for you to build a network of unities, unified tunes and everything. Like I said, you did not conquer anybody. You won election. That is the essence of democracy. I'm so happy that we have this talk.
Adeleke emerged victoriously in this their closely watched election after defeating his mission challenger, which was in Bola Bamiji, which was ruling APC party. Guys, Adeleke won about 19 local governments of Osun State, while Bamiji too win about 11 out of 30 areas in Osun State. Guys, this Adeleke recorded about 511,067 votes, while Bamiji was reported to have scored 445,815 votes. Guys, this outcome was particularly significant because this the election had attracted intense political attention, with the contest viewed as an important test of the strength of the ruling APC and the opposition in the Southwest. This presented certificate of return to President Tinubu. This certificate is the formal document issued by the Independent National Electoral Commission, that is INEC. So this is web to confirm a candidate's return as the winner of an election. Adeleke had received this certificate from INEC on Wednesday, August 19, at the Commission headquarters in Osogbo. As this certificate was presented to him by the Osun resident electoral commissioner, that's Professor Kune Ajani, following his victory in the August 15 poll. Less than 24 hours later, the governor took the certificate to Abuja and presented it to the president. As this gesture has been widely interpreted
You
as
can
a
give
significant
facts
political
to
moment,
Osun people.
especially given the intense
Not the
political
way you
competition surrounding
stand
this their Osun election.
or celebrate
This
it.
meeting also
It's the way
follows
you act.
President Tinubu earlier reaction to Adeleke victory after this their election, and
Use
Tinubu congratulated Adeleke on his
as an
re-election
example.
and also described this their result
And
as
again,
a reflection of
God
the
put
way
you here.
the people of
Where you are
Osun
today,
State.
God put you here.
Yes, the president's response was significantly because the
Not
Osun
the
contest
smartness of any of
had
them.
also been fiercely contested
It's just
by
their
the
stupidity,
APC and opposition parties.
not their smartness.
Tinubu acceptance of this their electoral outcome and also his
It's the
subsequent
wish
meeting
of
with
God
the
that
governor
prevailed
provided a public
and the wish
demonstration
of
of
his people
political
followed.
engagement between the federal government and also the re-elected Osun
And
governor.
you are in a
Otosu
very
Adeleke presentation of the certificate of return was publicly reported. This their substantive discussion between these two leaders took place behind closed doors. Guys, this seems to indicate that Adeleke proceeded directly to the president's office after arriving at the state house where the meeting commenced. Details of these their issues discussed during the meeting were not just immediately made publicly. However, this meeting comes at a political important period for both leaders. For Adeleke now like this their immediate priority is expected to be consolidating his second term mandate, also continuing his administration programs in Osun State. As for Tinubu like this, maintaining cooperation with state governors remains important to the implementation of federal policies and the management of political relationship ahead of the 2027 general election. Yes, this meeting is particularly noteworthy because of this their political history between Adeleke and the Tinubu-led political establishment. Adeleke contested this their 2026 election outside the APC structure and successfully defended his position as governor. He won this election through the Accord Party. Despite this their rivalry between the political camps during the election period, the post-election meeting demonstrate that political competition has not necessarily prevented engagement between the governor and the president. Remember, politics is a dirty game. These developments could therefore be viewed as an attempt to move beyond the intense campaign season and also the focus of this their governance and cooperation. Yes, this presentation of the certificate of return also reinforces the beginning of Adeleke's second term political chapter. The governor is now expected to concentrate on delivery on his campaign promises and also consolidating projects and policies introduced during his first term. Yes, following this his receipt of this certificate from INEC, Adeleke expressed appreciation to Osun voters for renewing its mandate to also acknowledge the difficult nature of the electoral processes. Yes, he also spoke about the violence recorded during this their election and announced plans for an 500 million election violence victims endowment fund to assist verified victims and also families that are affected by these election related violences. Yes, this their political celebration surrounding this Adeleke victory. This is have also been accompanied by concern over post-election security. A separate incident that occurred in Osogbo. There's attackers there's unknown gunmen. They attack the governor Ademola Adeleke convoy at the palace of the Atoja of Osogbo shortly after Adeleke received his certificate of return. As this Osun State Police Command they said it had commenced an investigation into a shooting incident involving suspected hoodlums. This incident has added another dimension to the post-election atmosphere in Osun with calls for political attacks and also security agencies to ensure that tension do not escalate. Adeleke has also reportedly appealed for peace, stressing that no political ambition or election is worth the life of any Nigerian. Beyond this their presentation of the certificate, This meeting so could also have a wider political implications. So the relationship between the federal and state government is critical to the development of states, particularly in areas such as infrastructure, security, education, healthcare and also economic development. Federal government usually funds the state government. This Adeleke ability to maintain a functional relationship with the presidency could also po ten tially benefit Osun state if both the governments cooperate on federal projects and development initiatives at the same time like dis. Dis their meeting so should automatically be interpreted as a change in Adeleke political affiliation of party. Yes, this their immediate confirmed development is that the re-elected governor visited President Tinubu at the presidential villa and also presented his certificate of return following his electoral victory. This image of Adeleke standing before Tinubu with his certificate of return has also become one of the defining political image emerging from the aftermath of the 2026 Osun governorship election. Only days earlier, the two politicians had occupied very different positions in the political contest surrounding Osun. Now, following this declaration of Adeleke as winner, the governor has formally presented the document confirming his victory of the nation's president. This meeting therefore carries both constitutional and political symbolism. An elected state governor meeting the president of the Federal Republic after receiving the formal confirmation of his mandate. For Osun residents now, attention will now shift from the election itself to the question of whether dis Adeleke second term now will deliver. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to always stay updated by subscribing, liking, ringing the notification bell and sharing.